Are you tired of missing open layups? Are you tired of getting the wrong animation? Are you tired of being told layups don't work by YouTubers that don't even use layups? I am. Well, guess what? This is the video for you. Welcome to the second installment of my advanced layup tutorial series. Let's get into it. All right, so for today's lesson, we're gonna be going over the distance you want to take off from the basket and basically when to put in your input for when to take off from the basket, because it's more to it than just the distance. So the easiest one and the one people are most familiar with talking about is probably distance to the basket of when you input your combination for whatever layup you're going for. It's kind of similar to dunking, right? Distance, a good distance is right as you're crossing the free throw line, everything is game. And what you want to do is once you've passed or are on the free throw line running full speed, you can basically start any layup from there, right? So free throw line in. You don't want to try to go three-pointer because you might get a step back like that, right? So, you know, you kind of want to practice like, oh, okay, I can go free throw line in, I can go like a little closer, right? Still gonna get a good animation and all that stuff. That's sort of the distance of what you want to play with. And a lot of that is gonna be based on the flexibility. That's gonna be based on where the defenders are, how many people you're trying to do the layup through, what kind of layup you're trying to do. Are you trying to do a scoop layup, a cradle, a euro, a floater, reverse, hop step? A lot of different choices, right? Here's the second part of that a lot of people don't talk about, and this is basically the advice I'm gonna give that a lot of other YouTubers aren't gonna talk about because they don't practice layups, so they're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about right now. All right, but you watch my channel, you click on the video, and you get this expert tip. The amount of dribbles you take, or rather the amount of steps you have in between each dribble, matters. Just like in the real NBA, how you get a gather step and then 2 steps, right? That's in the game, right? They're not gonna call a travel on you, right? And that's why you don't really pay attention. Like, you're not counting your steps ever. However, if I take a dribble and take 2 steps and then try to go up with an animation, my animation is gonna be worse because I have less steps to go up with that animation. It's also gonna give me more predictable animation to the defense. Whereas if I initiate my animation right after a pound dribble, I gotta gather and 2 steps, I'm gonna get way better animations, way wider animations, and I can go through contact after taking a pound dribble. Whereas if I go on my last step and try to take a layup, I'm not gonna be able to get contact layups very easily. Those are the layups you guys go up with in game that are getting blocked, sent away, and then they're the YouTubers that don't understand that mechanism are the ones telling you, hey, these layups don't work, floaters don't work, you can't contact through layups, 10% contested, you're gonna miss, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're wrong, and I don't blame them, I'm not knocking them, I'm not trying to go at anybody. I respect everybody in the community, they all have their opinions and experience. As layups are my thing, I just spend a lot of time on them. You know, that's just what I like to do. Other people like taking fadeaway threes and, you know, going for dunks. I like going for dunks too. I just don't like quick drops. You know what I mean? No, it's not anything personal to anyone, right? But with this advice, a couple of things to take in mind with it. You want to think about kind of combos into your moves. Like, I really like Euro steps for contact layups. It's my favorite animation to get contact layups. And it's also what I'm always going to teach on my channel because it's the easiest to control Euroing. So a couple good moves to get into it because you can sort of account for your dribble moves. If I take a Damian Lillard behind the back, I know at the end of the Damian Lillard behind the back animation, he's going to take a pound dribble, right? So he's gonna go boom, and right when it hits the floor, I can right out of that start my Euro. And you're seeing these animations I'm getting are really wide Euro steps. I'm covering a lot of distance. So boom, right there. Oh, and you see I kind of hesitated on that one, so it gave me kind of a hesitated lay. If I go right away, and then I just start my layup, look how wide that is. Look how fast he went. He took a pound dribble, he took his 2 steps, and he went wide to the left. Same thing, if I wanna go wide to the right, I can take a cradle And that's not a good example because I mistimed it. Timing is really important. You got to practice this stuff. This is not easy. But yeah, I get way more control when I go right after the pound dribble. So some of the things, putting this all together, right? Because it's not a lot of information, but it's a lot to put together in game and it can sound confusing. So I want to try and sum it up, right? Because I don't want to ramble. So distance you want to aim for when attacking the basket, free throw line, and closer. But you don't want to get to the restricted area and try and take a layup because then it's going to give you a close shot. Unless you're driving baseline, in which case you can still sort of, go with reverse layups and do that. But that's the only time. You don't want to like get to baseline and then try to do like a euro because it's going to give you that animation or really anything else unless it's, again, a reverse layup. Reverse layups are the ones you can go close in for. Everything else, you want to be before the restricted area and at or after the free throw line. That's your distance. Now that you know your distance of attack, right? The next thing in this video is the dribble. Once you get that pound dribble, so he took it right there, right as he was crossing the free throw line. So I did it right as I was crossing the free throw line. But let me see if I can try and like fake it. See that one? That one right there, he kind of took his pound dribble. He was about to take his pound dribble. The animation glitched, so you didn't see it. But timing wise, he was gonna take his pound dribble like 2 steps in from the free throw line. So I did it. I started my animation basically right when he was about to take that pound dribble, and it kind of gave me the, and you can kind of feel too, like sometimes the animation will glitch, it won't actually do the dribble, but you can feel as a rhythm, once you get a rhythm for this, like it is doing the dribble. It's giving you the credit of the steps for the dribble, if that makes sense, right? Because it gets kind of glitchy, right? If they forced your guy to do the animation of dribbling every time, it would kind of look goofy. So it's hard to visualize, but understand, like, you know, he's dribbling, taking steps, dribbling, step, dribble, step, dribble, step. Like there's a rhythm to the way your guy dribbles. And the sprint, dribble, step, dribble, step, dribble. You know, you can see him doing it. Like that's a real thing. So if you can kind of count it, boom, he took his dribble. You see how wide the animation is? See how much wider I'm getting on my euro? See, I can basically unlock like way crazier. Boom, took his dribble. And you see I messed up the angle and I messed up the distance, right? So it all comes into play. Boom, okay. See, now I can go wide with it. I can jelly on the left side. All of that matters, right? If an opponent can time your moves and figure you out based on like anything you do, like your rhythm, your timing, eventually they're gonna figure out. So if every time you go for a layup is every time after you pound dribble, eventually a good opponent, even one-on-one, will figure it out, right? Or 5-on-5 situation, they'll figure it out if they're reading you and keying into you. So what I do to switch it up is if I have a move, I might have a dribble move out of it to switch it up, right? And that's my switch. If I'm taking layups and stuff, like a lot of the time, or I'm going for a dunk, because this also applies to dunks. I do the exact same thing for dunks, by the way. I always try to go for a dunk right off the pound dribble. Boom, that's when I'm gonna get the most explosive animation. You put all this stuff together, you come up with 1 or 2 counters so they can't time your moves. Like a behind the back move is a counter to it, a crossover is a counter to it, and a spin back is a counter to it. You know what I mean? Just something so they can't like time you up right there. Like, ooh, pound dribble, ooh, crossover now. Maybe I get into a different move, you know what I mean? Something like that. That's how to create a complete game off of distance and your rhythm with dribbling. Your dribble rhythm. Yeah, I'm gonna call it that, dribble rhythm. Boom, boom. And then don't forget the jelly. Also, I'm gonna say it in every single video I do as a bonus. This is not part of the regular advanced layup video. This is just what I always say. Reverse layups work. You can make 100% of your reverse layups that aren't contested. 100% of them. You don't have to green it, just jelly out of them. For real, dude. All the YouTubers that are saying reverse layups don't work, y'all don't know how layups work. No offense, right? Again, not everyone's skill is layups this year, but I'm telling y'all, if you listen to someone who tells you reverse layups don't work, they never go in, it's a low percentage shot, they just don't understand layups, right? Like, at least not like I do. You can make 100% of your reverse layups. I can't tell you how many times I've shown people video of me making reverse layups and they say like, oh, that's a fluky. My player would never. Your player would. He would ever. He would do it right when you do a freaking a jelly. That's all you gotta do is jelly it. Boom. And the animations look smooth too, especially when you got Kyrie Irving as your layup package. that's it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if there's something you don't understand. I know I kind of rambled a lot in this video. I just want to get the information out to you guys. I'm working three different jobs now. Trying to pay for this wedding, trying to pay for an apartment. So, you know, it's kind of my life is kind of all over the place, but you know, I got a lot of information that a lot of people in the 2K community aren't paying attention to. So hopefully this helps y'all. Hopefully I inspire somebody to take more layups and put this into their game, implement it in a way that helps them understand how to slash better, in a way that isn't just rim running, right? Because the quick drops have kind of dumbed everything down for people, and this is going to kind of bring a little life back into the community, I hope. With that being said, I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for all the support. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm out.
Hargrove hit one, and then I hit one. It was
that one. 20 on the board.